Hi guys, my name's John. This is my video or series, should we say, for the 5SL conversion on a 5EB R6. This is my first YouTube video and my first attempt to do anything, so you're going to have to bear with me when it comes to lighting and all the expert stuff when it comes to that. Mainly it is about the bike and the conversion, seeing as I've discovered there's not really much information or simple videos or guides or anything like that to do with it. It's becoming quite a popular conversion because of the common problem that is appearing to come about of the cylinder liners cracking, which I'd imagine most people would have heard about if you know anything about these bikes at all. It's arguable to say what it is, don't quote me on anything, but I think it's due to excessive use of the bike before it's warmed up properly, also not warming them up properly, and stuff like that. People just get on them, start them, ride them, rag them, and you know, they heat up far too quickly, and I think the metal just can't take it over time and cracks. But there we go. The easiest way around it is to fit the later engine of the 5SL. There is a few little modifications to do. There's a couple of ways you can go about it. You can either do the fuel injection conversion and run the bike on full fuel injection, or you can go for your carburetor still. But to do that you need to change the cylinder head, keep your original 5EB head. Which personally that's the one I'm going with because it looks neater, it looks a bit more original, and that's that. Also sorts the second gear problem out with the 5EBs where they have a slipping second gear or crunching, clicking second gear. These are a revised gearbox in these, even though Yamaha don't admit the problem themselves. I'm going to give you a little run around the bike now. There is a story behind this bike. I bought it cheap, bought it in very, very poor condition. This whole thing is painted black. It was literally falling off the paint. I've basically stripped it completely apart, bar the swing arm and forks, and cleaned it all up. Tried to start making it mine. I've only got so far with it. But needed to wait on an engine, which I now have, so that's fantastic. It is red and white. We've got all the fairings down here. I will do a picture collaboration of the photos that I've got from before I decided to start the YouTube video. It's not going to be an immaculate bike by any shape or stretch of the imagination. Just to see, we've got a little crack down here which I've literally just repaired with a small little piece of plastic and some Araldite just to strengthen it a little bit. Nothing major, nothing pretty. We do have the twin rear light to go on here. We did have the big single thing beforehand. I'm going with a white under tray which is currently at work. I'm rubbing down and painting at the moment. That's where that normally lives. We've got a big old scratch across there. Yes, I did it. I did it 5 minutes into owning the bike. Pushed it in here, up against the steel wheel laying on the floor. Never mind. I'm probably going to throw it into a bush anyway as soon as I start riding it, so that's not a problem. Well, that's pretty clean. We've got a box of bits. The wheels were, one was red, one was black. They have been painted by myself, not brilliantly, but they are 100 times better than what they were. Obviously everything's very dusty at the moment. We're in a very, very dusty garage. I've literally just pulled the car out and got sorted in here tonight and decided to do a test run on a video. We have the original 5EB engine here, and if I grab a torch with a bit of extra light in, I shall show you the cracks that we deal with here. There we are. That's one. It's more like a chunk that's come out. I believe on this one it's 3 of 4 cylinders. There's another crack there. So we've kept that just for any bits and pieces that we may need. I've recently cleaned, painted, re-studded the cylinder head. Another common thing with these is because obviously the engine, of course, is at the front of the engine, takes all the road grit and grime. You end up with studs like that. They all snap. Luckily, I only had to drill one of these out. I managed to get the rest out just with a bit of heat, mole grips, and this, that and the other. Re-studded it. We painted the rocker cover a nice anthracite black, anthracite grey, and heavily lacquered as well. So hopefully that should last a little bit. Things you need for the conversion, obviously cylinder head, 5EB bottom end. You need the coils from your 5EB because they don't fit in the 5SL cylinder head. Doesn't quite, they don't lock down, as you can see. So you'd need those as well. You also need the pickup cover. I believe I've taken it off somewhere. I've come very unprepared for this video. Yes, the pickup cover with the pickup coil in it. And you also need, from the 5EB, the rotor wheel, whatever you want to call it. Trigger wheel, as I would call it, being a car mechanic. That's it, off the top of my head. Simple case of just swapping heads over. The reason we swap the heads over is because these, for the fuel injection, are too big. Now, you would think, why don't we just swap these over for the carb ones? Well, then the stud pattern don't fit. Nice one, Yamaha. So we've got to change that. The head's all been cleaned, ready to go. I spent till the early hours of the morning last night cleaning this engine and getting it up here. It's not perfect by any stretch of imagination. Like I say, it's not going to be a perfect bike. This, believe it or not, is clean. I am going to give it another scrub up, especially when I've got the head off and stuff like that. I'm going to try and get a bit of a better finish on that because I'm not greatly happy with that in terms of condition wise. I mean, going from the rest of the bike, I've cleaned this thing religiously. This thing's black in paint and grease and all sorts of nastiness. So I've done those bits. Cable tie's not staying there before anyone mentions cable tie on a brake hose, blah blah. I'm just waiting for a P-clip to attach that. I just wanted to put it there, keep it out of the way. Got carbon rear hugger coming for tomorrow. Cobwebs, we love cobwebs. I've also got the exhaust bracket because I'm running no passenger. Sorry, I am not watching where the camera is going. The exhaust bracket that comes down here replaces the rear footrest. Getting rid of that. I will still have to run my rear seat for a little while, only because I'm on a bit of a budget for getting this bike on the road. That's about it really. Next video will probably be tearing this engine down to the point what we need to do. As you can see here, we've got some lovely little bodge up with some sort of bathroom sealant or something or other, toothpaste, chewing gum, I don't know. So we're going to do that, get that stripped and start getting it prepped, and then once the head is on, I will be setting about fitting the engine for a trial run. I have found out in my research that these lugs here on the top of the crankcase are 5mm each, too wide. This engine is actually 10mm wider than that one. So we need to shave 5mm off of here, apparently. I am going to test fit it in my own bike first and measure the distance between those mounts and these mounts before I cut anything off. I'm going to test fit the engine. I've got someone potentially selling me the modified piece to go in here that just needs to be welded in, rather than just doing the 2 blocks. Problem being with the 2 blocks is we haven't got this bit in the middle. Sorry, camera angle again. I am a complete novice when it comes to this camera malarkey. This is quite important here, because when you tighten down the whole thing, it's going to pinch the frame, and it's going to hold against this. There's going to be a lot of vibration going through this, a lot of torque, all that sort of stuff. I don't like the idea of just the 2 blocks here. It doesn't work in my mind. So I was thinking, if I was just going to have the 2 blocks here, I was going to make up a sleeve that fit in between the 2. So the bolt could run through that, and then as it tightens down, it all clamps together, and it's not got no looseness in the middle. Don't have to do that anymore. I found a guy that will do the whole thing. What you do, from what I've found out so far, is you cut from here out, and also sort of along here like this. Obviously I will be measuring it properly and doing it all properly, but roughly for now, you cut around here, and you cut that whole section out, and then the bracket that's made is just basically a tube like that, but rather than it being round, it's got a flat edge, and that pokes up into the C shape that is left, and then you weld that in, and you also get a sort of reinforcement plate that welds in here. There's a couple of little differences with the sensors, so we're going to be figuring that out along the way. But the main thing is, at the moment, to get the head on, get the engine a bit more cleaned up, and tile fit it in the bike. See how we go from there. You'll be going through the ups, downs, blood, sweat, tears, me having a strop, all sorts in this build, so I can imagine it will be quite interesting to see. I'm going to try and keep it as entertaining for you as possible, but also educational, because that's the whole point of the video. Like I say, you're just going to have to bear with the noviceness. I'm sure I'll improve with time. I actually feel like a bit of a tit here talking to myself in my garage right now, but I'm sure that will be overcome. Is that the word? Yeah, that'll do. So that's it. Next video, strip that down. See you around.